All right, we have the senior quarterback Logan Meyer, Northeast 10 Player of the Week after his performance against Saint Anselm on Saturday, becoming the all-time leading passer in school history. Logan, just kind of talk about what kind of those numbers mean to you that you've been able to accomplish so far in setting that record on Saturday.
The record, it meant a lot to me. The stuff, I've accomplished throughout these last 4 years at Stonehill. I just thought, I never really think about it. I never really wonder, am I getting close to these records or anything? But, to hear it come from, my father and my grandfather who were at the game last Saturday, it was awesome to hear, how happy and how, proud he was of me to do what I have done here.
We've kind of talked about this before. You were a guy who didn't know any pants. You just wore a shorts guy. When you arrived here as on your recruiting visit, just kind of take us that journey. Where you've come, from California over here on the East Coast, and that whole process of getting here.
I coming here freshman year. It was culture shock for me. Coming all the way from California. I've only been to two places in my life really, California and Missouri, and that's where the rest of my family, resides. So when I came out here, it was hard for me to transfer into, a different look on everything. But, with Stonehill football, it's helped me, adapt, and it's given me, a second family. And now all I think about is Eastern Massachusetts is my second home. And Stonehill College will always be my second home.
You came out here with Tim Bennett, a teammate of yours, and then also Eric Schneider followed you guys a year. What is it for people, the three of you that brought you here to Stonehill, and what drew you to the place and made you come cross country?
I think what drew me here, to be honest, I don't know if I would have ever made the decision to come to Stonehill without Timmy. Timmy was, with having him, knowing that he was coming to Stonehill, it made the decision so much easier for me. Just in having someone there, and I've grown so close to him now that I think of him as my brother, along with my four other brothers at home. So I think, and then having Eric come the following year, it really just set like a good tone for us, and I hope it just brings in more people from out of state to come to Stonehill.
Can you talk about the background that you three have with St. Bonaventure? What's that program like, and how did that prepare you? Football and also academically here at Stonehill.
Well, Saint Bonaventure, it's a tradition. Football is life for them. I went through the program through Coach Therian. I started off with Coach Mack, who is actually a Ventura County legend. He's a high school legend as a coach. I think going through that program, really put us on the top of the totem pole. It really showed that we could get through like a top-notch system. Because as Coach Therian, always wanted it, he treated it like it was University of Southern California. The way he ran things was just a college-based system. So I was so used to having football all year round and constantly focusing on football.
You mentioned your family. You've come from a big family. Talk about what that's like, and how that maybe has molded you as well.
I just think having a big family. I have my four brothers and I have my four sisters, and I think being the second oldest is really molded to me as who I am. I love them to death, and it's I think it shows. I try to be as passionate as I can. I try to care for my friends the best I can. I try to help them out the best I can. And then coming into Stonehill and being a captain on the football team and being a quarterback, I think coming from a big family, it brings good attributes for me to show to other people that I can be a caring individual for them, and maybe even like a brother to them.
So all that brought you to Stonehill your freshman year. What were your expectations coming in? I know you kind of got thrown into the fire a little bit as a starting quarterback because of injury and whatnot, but did you come in thinking that could be something you worked into as the year went on, and how did that kind of work for you?
Oh yeah, of course. I came in freshman year. I remember I spent my senior summer. I worked with my quarterback coach Eric Kramer, and I would go to him. I tried to meet with him as much as I could, and then I was getting trained by, Coach McCann's brother out in California, which was kind of nice. And I just wanted to, get on the field. But I did realize that I'm coming into a system that had, 6 quarterbacks here already. And we had Danny Sagan when I was here as a freshman, and we had a great backup, Timmy Morrison, who I actually got to play with for 3 years. And, I just did the best I could to help the team. And I know I tell the kids all the time, it comes down to the little things. And for me, it was scout team. I played scout team as a freshman, and I remember, I loved it. You got to drop back, and they told me who to throw to. I didn't have to make any reads. It was nice, and I think that's what really showed that I could possibly even play. And then that's what happened. I came in through injury and played against AIC my freshman year.
Now, fast forward a little bit to last year, the home game against New Haven. I mean, I think for most part in the public, your breaking out game, and just talk about that night and kind of how that night came, and did that really mold you and solidify you in that position? Do you feel?
I think that night, it was something special. It wasn't the outcome, that everyone wanted. Everyone walks off with the win. I just think it really showed how good Stonehill could actually, how good we are as a team. That really put us, in the mix with playing against teams like AIC and Bentley and UNH. And then for me, and a personal goal, I just know that I could play as best as I could play. I went into that game thinking I was probably one of the most prepared games I've ever had. I would sit down with Coach Talley and Coach McCann every day, and I made sure I'd watch film right before I went to sleep, just knowing that we could go out and and think of them as not being anyone special.
Coming into this year, obviously your senior year, what's been the team goal, your goals? Certainly you've set some records already. I know those aren't the most important thing to you, but what's been kind of your personal goals and team goals here going forward?
Well, I mean, if we go off our motto, we have our motto 1/11th. We say it all the time, and we have one every other year. For having that as my senior year, I love that one because it really shows that, you're only one person, but you could do so much on this team. So, in my instance, 1/11th, I'm only 1/11th of the team on the offense. I have to do what I can do, and I can't do too much because I have, 10 other guys on that field that will and that will help me out to get a win. And then from a personal standpoint, I didn't really think about the records or anything like that. It never really came across my mind. I just wanted to make a stamp on my senior year, and just know that, I just want to have a winning season. I want to win. I want to set Stonehill football at the top, with all these other teams in the NA10.
Week one at Bloomsburg didn't go great. How much satisfaction do you take into a game that, like you had this past Saturday against St. A's, after kind of the disappointment at Bloomsburg in week one, to kind of rectify that and get back to where I think you want to be?
Well, I think the loss to Bloomsburg, and from my personal standpoint, it lit a fire under me, because I really didn't see how we couldn't keep up with Bloomsburg. They're just like us, just another football team, and that's how I take every team. I don't really, I don't think about records. I don't think about how they're in the PSAC and how their whole conference is great at football. But that really kind of ticked me off in the way that I know we could keep up with any team in our conference. So I think from a preparation standpoint, I took it to the next level to want to be. I wanted to know everything about St. A's. I wanted to know how they ran everything, how they do everything on the offense and defense. So I think that's what put us up the top in that game Saturday.
You graduated maybe two of your big weapons, and specifically for you, John Gomes as a wide receiver, but also Demetrius Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your wide receivers this year, who seem to be at least on the same level as you've had, if not maybe a little bit higher. And certainly with Jamal Johnson, who's had a couple of good games here so far.
Well, like I said last Saturday, I was talking to someone after the game, and you can't do anything but compliment Jamal on the game he had. I mean, the kid's been a workhorse since he came in as a freshman, and the stuff that he's been through, throughout college with Henry and all that. I mean, just for him to have a breakout game like that, it made me really happy because he's such a hard worker, and he does it on and off the field. With his it stands with his GPA. I mean, it's great. It's high, and he's doing really well in school and football. And then from a receiver standpoint, I think out of all 3 years I've been here, this group I've been really hard on because I know that the potential is all there. Coach McCann used to tell me all the time, like we have standout players. We have John Gomes in, Nate Robitaille and Corey White and Gordon McLeod. So I think from this year, it's just a group of guys that I've grown really close to, and a group that I can, yell at when they do something wrong, or criticize them when they're not doing anything right.
This week, Assumption, a strong defensive team, so I'm sure you've been watching the film. They're very obviously coming off a big win as well. What do you expect Friday, and what do you have to be prepared for?
Assumption, ever since I've been here, it's been a game of special teams. I think my sophomore year, when we went out there and played, the game came down to Stephon returning a punt for a touchdown. That would seal the deal in that game. I want to go out and just have a good game because I know in the past I have struggled. I know Assumption's got a great D line, so I mean when I watch film, I focus on that. I focus on what I need to work on, how I need to move, and how I need to work the pocket. So Coach Talley and I have been doing really well with that. I know they have a new coach over there, so their defense has changed, a little bit. But I know they're always going to come out strong and they're always, ready to hit.
All right, Logan. Well, congratulations so far, especially on the game this past weekend, and we certainly wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.